The starting point of good instructional design is always the definition of the intended learning outcomes and the overarching assessment strategy that allows us to observe them. The smart learning design method comes into play after this phase and suggests selecting the learning events that are useful for achieving the learning outcomes and then choosing how to implement them, what tools or methods to use, whether or not they will be assessed. And in line with this, determining the most suitable instructional format: in-person, synchronous online, asynchronous, or left to the student's autonomy. Given the considerable complexity and variety of contexts we may encounter in teaching practice, we thought it might be useful to define reference and application models for the smart learning design method. These models aim to integrate the main variables within a coherent framework, creating a sort of stage or reference set that you can then adapt according to the requirements of different disciplines and your preferred pedagogical approach. To this end, we have tried to identify three main instructional sets: the low interactivity frontal setup, the high interactivity setup, and the collaborative hands-on setup, which can serve as inspiration for designing an entire course or even just a module. These sets refer to different combinations of four main dimensions: the number of students, the expected level of interaction between teachers and students and among students themselves, the digital tools and resources available, and the flexibility of furniture and spaces. The first element we take into consideration in defining the reference models is the number of students. In the sets we will analyze, however, we will limit ourselves to identifying two types of typical classes of the university context: the small to medium-sized class with a maximum of 60 to 80 participants, and the large class with participants ranging from 80 to 150, 200 or more. The second element we consider in building our models is the level and type of interaction. We refer to three different interaction dynamics: one in which interactivity is primarily between the instructor and individual students, one in which the level of interaction between instructors and students increases and interactions also occur among students in pairs or groups, and finally, a situation in which the main interactivity is among students who collaborate in the creation and manipulation of content, while the instructor's role is more that of a guide or facilitator. There is also a third element that is useful to keep in mind: the digital tools and resources we have at our disposal to support communication and interaction. From this perspective, we can identify three broad categories of digital tools and resources, which we have defined as basic tools: web conferencing tools such as Zoom, Teams, WebEx, Big Blue Button, etc. Classroom equipment, both hardware and software, for managing extended classrooms, and learning management systems like Moodle, Edmodo, Blackboard, etc., where we can create support spaces for courses to share materials, recordings, organizational communications, or assignments. Tools supporting interaction, starting with student response systems for launching and managing quick quizzes and activities during class sessions, such as WooClap, Kahoot, Socrative, etc., or online collaborative whiteboards like Miro or Mural, as well as tools that can be used for the collaborative creation and transformation of content, and tools for collaborative annotation of texts, videos, podcasts, or for peer review activities. This also includes augmented and virtual reality environments or generative tools based on artificial intelligence. And finally, we have digital content, MOOCs, and open educational resources to be integrated into classroom activities for individual study and in-depth exploration, or to support the collection of low interactivity content. Finally, we must not forget the importance of the flexibility of furniture and spaces. From this point of view, we can categorize learning spaces into rigid spaces, characterized by fixed seating, and desks that cannot be moved, and often by tiered flooring, semi-flexible spaces, characterized by a teacher's desk, seating, and desks that are not fixed to the floor, but are difficult to move due to their weight or the lack of wheels, and sometimes also due to limited space free from furniture. And finally, flexible spaces with flat flooring, furnished with desks and chairs on wheels, and enough space to easily reconfigure the classroom.